Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our third day of plenary sessions. I hope that you've been enjoying the workshops, and the ones that I've checked in on are quite extraordinary, actually. And also the new ways to interconnect us. We're learning our way. That's all that I would say. This day, you're going to have a special treat. I'm going to introduce you to some new people that you don't know about very much. They are extraordinary. And they will share their vision and their direction with respect to creating a better world. And so the title of this session is about that. It's envisioning and creating a better future for all of us. Now, I travel a lot. I talk to a lot of people at all different levels of society. And what I walk away with is everybody's in to creating a better future. And particularly you in this community have the wherewithal to do it. That starts with the idea of creating geographic understanding, pervasive geographic understanding. And in the last few days, and you particularly know this, that this, I think, is one of the big answers for us to create a better future. And we also need an approach, a more holistic approach for being able to manage our world. Now, managing our world is kind of an audacious statement. It's certainly not something that we take lightly. On the other hand, it's worth listening to the speakers today, because I think what we need to do, like you did with COVID, is grow the general knowledge and understanding of the world about all of these issues that are challenging us. And certainly GIS is a proven way that we can do this. It's an integrated platform. It brings us together. It connects science with design thinking, with action. And our collective work has real potential here to make a big contribution. Now, a global GIS is a vision that Roger Tomlinson had 30 years ago. Al Gore had it when he talked about digital Earth. It's been talked about in various ways. But I guess your collective work, it's worth acknowledging, is actually emerging as a kind of global GIS. And it's evolving and supporting many kinds of organizations. It's bringing together thousands of layers of information that are shared, actually millions. It's really composed of a system of systems, your systems interconnected and working in collaboration. And you are sharing millions of your data sets. And it's creating billions of maps, which are impacting the world, as we all know. Esri, several years ago, began thinking about and collaborating with what I now describe as a loosely connected network of organizations to leverage this body of knowledge. Now, it's a great body of knowledge. The difficulty is it's still, held by the geospatial elite. And you build great interfaces, and increasingly we've seen in the last few days how to do more and more of it. But I would like to say we need to leverage this information for greater things. And these partners on this slide give some suggestion of the launch partners who we intend to do this with. Of course, National Geographic Society, our long-term partner in many efforts, the UN, the E.O. Wilson Foundation and the Half Earth work, the International Geodesign Consortium. You, our users, our partners, Microsoft has very generously agreed to contribute resources in this regard to address some of the big challenges in conservation and science and education. This consortium, and it's not a limited consortium, it's just kind of like many things we do in life. We make it up and we start working together and we pilot it and it starts to work and then we go forward. This consortium envisions creating and building, listen carefully, a new class of digital experiences for these different communities, for forecasting the future, for understanding biodiversity, the Half-Earth vision, for being able to tell the world what's going on. So just like with COVID, imagine we could do that for all of the big issues. The UN is imagining telling that story to the public as a reporting system, and National Geographic engaging people through stories of various types. And National Geographic telling stories to young children so that they understand what's going on. and building engaging experiences for them. And the geodesign community to build tools that actually help designers, professionals, engineers, planners design and create the future in various ways. This is a big challenge, and I personally think it's the next big challenge for all of us. You've seen some of these sorts of things before. These are brand new from Clark University, forecasting the human footprint out another 30 years. Ocean health from NOAA, and the rich biodiversity work that's going on at Clark with the E.O. Wilson Foundation. This gives a glimmer of the kind of scientific information we can expect more and more of in the future. So this consortium envisions creating it and then making it available, and then most importantly, creating these new sorts of experiences that are easier to use than the traditional GIS technology have been. It's not that we're not making progress in that domain, because everybody wants easier technology, but we need to make a dramatic jump if we are going to transform the world with the same kind of understanding of holism that so many of you appreciate. I asked Bernd Zakowski, my old friend and colleague, who's been working in this area with the Experience Builder team, to actually build a short little demonstration that shows the beginnings of what I'm thinking. He's taken the Living Atlas and he's built a series of little indicators using this technology called geocards in the Experience Builder. And I hinted at this earlier, but Bernd, could you just give us a little demonstration of this work?
Hi, my name is Bernd Zakowski, and I'm here to introduce the Living Atlas Indicators of the Planet. Now, it's a new addition to the Living Atlas, and it's a destination where anyone can go to look at these key global indicators and see current status and conditions. It's like a dashboard of dashboards. It brings together organizations to share their knowledge, share their content, to communicate change, and also share additional resources to help us learn more about what's going on. Now, the heart of this site are these cards, and each of these cards focuses on a particular topic. Each of these cards is also powered by Living Atlas content, which means it's curated, it's authoritative, and it's updated continually. In fact, some of these are live feeds. Now, that also means that these cards update on their own cadence. For example, conservation is updated monthly, drought is updated weekly, and wildfire and air quality are updated daily, even hourly. Now, these cards are more than just graphics. They're actually a new kind of application called a geocard, and Jack introduced these on Monday. Geocards are experience builder templates which you can use and customize around your own topics. They package lots of information together in a shareable and embeddable way. Let's take a look inside one of these cards. I've opened the air quality card, and at the top we have an introduction to this indicator. And I also have some information about the Living Atlas content provider. In this case, it's OpenAQ. They're a nonprofit organization that collects air quality information from across the globe. Now, their content is published in this map in this app, and we can interact with it to see what's going on. For example, here in Kalamazoo, the air quality is good. If we move to another part of the world, we can see that here the air quality is not so good. This provides an opportunity for us to see what's going on at any point in time. Now, besides maps and apps, these cards also bring together other resources. They bring together story maps, they bring together links to other sites and more information, and they can also link to Learn ArcGIS lessons. So we, as GIS practitioners, can extend our skills to do even more with this content. Besides the technical pieces, these cards also bring together the community, they bring together people. They bring together the organizations, the scientific community, the stakeholders that revolve around this topic. So this really represents something interesting. It represents a new pattern, a new way for us to share our geographic knowledge. You can take these cards and assemble them in different ways. You can customize and you can extend them, but you'll likely want to create your own geocards with topics that are important to you and that you are interested in. So if you're a city, a state, a federal government agency, if you're a conservation organization, or perhaps a university research center, you're going to use geocards around topics that are important to you and create sites to inform others and drive policy and make for better decisions.
Thanks, Bern. I mean, of course, it's a technology. It's an enabling technology with a big vision. And it's one example of what I'm talking about in terms of filling the gap between what we normally do and citizenry who need to be informed and energized and enabled in various ways. I'd like to next shift over to have Stefan Sweinfest at the UN, who is working with us closely on the SDGs. They're using these kinds of cards in a broader program. So Stefan, could you join us?
Dear colleagues, to manage the COVID-19 crisis, we need data. To manage the inevitable serious socioeconomic impacts of the COVID-19 crisis, we need data. To manage the long-term United Nations 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda, we need data. Not just any data. We need good data, high-quality data, data that the decision makers can trust. We need global data, data we can aggregate and compare among countries. And when I say data, I do not only mean official statistics and traditional numbers. I mean statistics plus geospatial information plus big data. And that's what the United Nations Statistics Division that I have the privilege to lead is all about. But we cannot certainly do this alone. We need partners. Partners like Esri and Jack Dangermond, who have the vision and the generosity to invest together with us, both in physical as well as in human capital around the world, to jointly build resilient and sustainable national information systems. So it is my great pleasure to speak today to you as an audience of data and information specialists. We have already helped national statistical offices to build open Sustainable Development Goals data hubs that make data available to all types of users to test hypotheses, to make predictions, or to build interactive dashboards, maps, or visualizations. Furthermore, in a pioneering public-private partnership with Esri, we have globally launched the Federated Information System for the Sustainable Development Goals, which allows countries in unprecedented ways to disseminate and use integrated statistical and geospatial data, leveraging web GIS technologies that facilitate data sharing, interoperability, and collaboration to report on the Sustainable Development Goals at the local, national, regional, and global level. So please join us on this exciting journey to bridge the digital divide and give all countries the data architectures that they need. Let's together unleash the power of data to improve everybody's life. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan. You can get a kind of sense of what this really means, bringing all countries together, seeing the whole world, as well as addressing the challenges in each specific country. Another leader that we're going to hear from in a few minutes is Jeffrey Sachs, who is the president of an organization called the Sustainable Development Solutions Network, SDSN. And they have about 1,200 members around the world. What they envision is get the SDGs out now so we can start to see in real time what everybody is doing. So I'm going to just pause for a moment and come back to Jeffrey in just a minute. But they're definitely one of our great partners and participants in this activity. A third partner is an organization that many of you have not heard of before, and it's called the International Geodesign Collaboration. This consists of universities around the world who are embracing the idea of geodesign as a professional practice. They're teaching it. They're teaching their students how to create a better future through design, not just science, but the other side of it, actually design, geodesign in action. So I've asked the University of Pennsylvania, or Penn State, rather, they're going to kill me for saying that, but Penn State to share a little bit of a video about geodesign with you right now. Can you do that for me?
Land is fundamental to life on Earth. Everything is rooted in this common ground. But our world is facing unprecedented challenges. The norms previously guiding how we make decisions and plan for the future no longer apply. We need unique but proven tools and processes to uncover innovative planning and design solutions.
I think we're experiencing a renaissance in the way we approach problems in this country and around the world, and geodesign gets it. Geodesign understands that there are multiple disciplines needed to come together to address big problems.
Geodesign is a powerful method fueled by stakeholder input and innovative technology to dynamically illustrate the impacts of alternative scenarios. It's the perfect process for envisioning sustainable and resilient answers to today's problems.
And the negotiation, I think, for me as a landscape architect, is hugely important. I have spent so much time at community meetings where you have to leave, come back next month, and come back with a new design. And so geodesign has been fabulous because we can do it there on the spot and get immediate feedback.
Geodesign enables win-win outcomes for a variety of challenging situations.
The town was crippled about making the decision within their town center, concerned about the impacts of height and density, and we were able to use a geodesign workflow and suite of tools to give them an immersive 3D experience, to be able to toggle between scenario A and scenario B and go look at the impacts. And it certainly was a win for the town. They embraced more compact built form versus a sprawling suburban type of commercial area. Never could happen without the geodesign workflow and the tools that we use.
Well, thanks to Penn State for that video. Look, what this community is about is supporting real work, the creating of the future, building by building, neighborhood by neighborhood, city by city, region by region, state by state, and so on. The practices that are embodied in this kind of practice are initially started with one of my old professors, Dr. Carl Steinitz, who I'd like to acknowledge, who pioneered the way to create a whole generation of students. He's still doing it. He's working in this consortium, building these professional practices in almost every country on the planet. Now, I just want to pause here because I've talked a little bit about global stuff, global science, global seeing the future, all the way down to actual action. And I want you to notice that this consortium that we've put together is looking at all aspects of it. In addition, we are pushing on the computational format for that. Microsoft is also another participant in our program. They are leading the way with global imagery, providing raster data sets and real-time imagery and powerful analytic tools, and making them available to a world of conservation, a world of education, and we very much respect and support all of those contributions that they are making.